Gentlemen, what's happening? So the other day, there I am, trimming my pubes when it hits me. I've never done a total body manscaping tutorial. Sure, I've talked about each of the 6 danger zones individually, but I've never done a manscaping manifesto. Pubes, butt, back, chest, arms, and legs. By the end of this video, you're gonna know more about me than my wife. Let's rock. Alright, so my manscaping routine is broken up into 2 very specific category or phases. Phase number 1 is trimming, phase number 2 is shaving. But the first thing I do is prevent myself from getting a divorce. I get a towel and I will actually lay it on the ground. And I do all of my trimming on top of the towel. When I'm done, I get off, I fold it up, I take it outside, bang! Pop it, shake it, pubes everywhere. Now it's time to move on to phase number 1, which is trimming. Personally, I have a strategy. I start at the neck and work down. You can't just go all I used to try that, and then I realized it's totally ineffective and not that smart. Every guy needs an amazing grooming tool. This one is the Beardscape by Brio. Everybody knows that I used to be a Norelco guy all day long. But as it turns out, the Brio Beardscape is actually the man and the best product, the best tool on the market, and today's video sponsor. I know what you're thinking. You're like, yo, Brio's only the best because they're a sponsor. If Norelco was the sponsor, they'd be the best. No. Here is the deal. I did a completely unbiased, non-sponsored video comparing the Brio to the Norelco. They are different. Like, I'm talking worlds apart. And it's a damn good thing they're a sponsor because there's a special link down below that's going to give this to you for a ridiculous, I'm talking crazy ridiculous price. I honestly don't know how they're selling these tools because of the level of quality for the price that they are, but they are. Let's not question it. There's a link down below to go check it out. Along with that video, watch the video. If you are in the market for a new beard, facial hair grooming tool, or body trimmer, you gotta watch the video. Check out how close that ceramic blade is to the top blade or the rake. That rake is actually titanium. They've spared no expense. That means that you can get a super ridiculous close trim. That's one of the issues with a lot of facial hair grooming tools. It's not super close, and so even after you go over it, you're left with a little bit of stubble. Not this, but it's also got adjustments so that you can make it a little bit longer, go for the 5 o'clock shadow. They've got attachments. I mean, this thing, like I said, and like I show in that video, is the best on the market. So if you're interested or in the market for a better beard grooming tool, hit that link and grab one. Supplies are limited. They've got a limited number of these things and they always sell out. And at the price, you absolutely cannot beat it. Gentlemen, hit the link, grab a Brio, thank me later. Let's groom. All right. So for me, I shave my chest in the shower, which you'll see in a second. But I always come in first and just knock off the hairs. And for me, I always have to watch it around my nipples because all of a sudden I'll realize that, oh my God, I've got these long crazy hairs around my nipples, which are nasty. And then it is time to move on to my pits. For my armpits, I've actually been starting to use a 3mm guard because I was tired of cutting myself. And basically, once a week, I will just come in and take a lot of the length down. It's not getting it like super crazy smooth, but it is definitely going to cut down on wetness, and honestly I feel like they don't smell as bad. Next, I would move on to my back. I actually don't have back hair. If I did, I would use the back blade. It's the best thing in the history of back hair. You can do it yourself. You don't have to ask your girl or your mom. But one thing I would like to show you, remember I used to have a really stupid tattoo? I had it removed. Looks pretty good, right? You never know. Next up, we're going happy trail. Now, what I do for my happy trail, I don't shave it off. I actually will use the attachment and drop it down so I get about 7mm in terms of length, and I will go over my happy trail. I don't like a completely shaved lower midsection. I like a little something something. Make the happy trail, and then once that is trimmed, I actually will come in and do alongside it with just the trimmers, leaving a super cute, masculine and studly racing stripe. Once the happy trail has been perfectly carved and symmetrical, I actually will drop it back and get it as close as possible and go over in an upward direction, not down, so you can get a little bit closer. I will do my pubic area. I do leave like a little like racing stripe all the way down to the base of said wiener. Manscaping's not something that you want to rush. You also want to make sure that the lighting is decent, because I've tried to do this like in the shower or somewhere where it's not great in terms of lighting, and when I look later, I've got all these like straggly hairs everywhere. Not sexy. Let's talk about your testicles. I would not, under any circumstance, recommend using this on your testicles without an attachment. Nobody has, and I'm talking nobody, not even this incredible Brio, has mastered the product that can actually be used directly on testicles. Because the skin, it's so soft, it's supple, it gets right in between those little blades and it nips it. And you only do that once. Actually, I've done that like 7 times, which is because I'm stupid. Anyway, what I would recommend, if you haven't shaved or trimmed your testicles in a long time, they probably look like a troll doll in a headlock. I would, however, recommend putting on an attachment, possibly 6 millimeters, or you could go a little bit longer if you want to rock a little bit longer style, 9 millimeters, and go over the testicles. Just be super careful. Time to move on to the backside. I will actually use this on my butt cheeks. I'm not a hairy guy, but for some reason my butt cheeks get pretty hairy, and I will take the other hand and gently kind of open up the crack a little bit, pull it to the side, but very careful. I am very careful not to get it too close to the old butthole, because once again, you only do that once. So for me, I shave my legs. I know I'm one of those dudes. I shave my legs, and I'm not going to apologize for it either. I like it better. But I do not shave my hamstrings because of the fact that my hair, when it starts to grow back, it itches and gets ingrown, and it's just super uncomfortable. Instead, I will use the clippers on my hamstrings, just running it up the back of my thighs, a little bit of inner thigh action, and after that is done on both sides, it is time to hop in the shower and move on to phase number 2. But I will say this, if you're somebody who's like, yo, I'm not shaving my legs, moron, I get it, right? Because a lot of dudes don't, and it's definitely a personal preference thing that I started because of bodybuilding back in the day. But I would recommend, if you're somebody who has a lot of leg hair, throw an attachment on a facial hair grooming tool and just go over them to take some of the bulk or length out of them. But it's up to you, personal preference. Let's shower. So now it's time to move on to phase number 2, which is shaving. I do not shave everything I trim, but I do shave some things that I didn't trim, like my arms. What I use typically for my shaving cream is just body wash. It works just as well, honestly, in my opinion, than shaving cream, but I don't have super sensitive skin, and so it hasn't bothered me. But you might be somebody who needs something with a little bit more glide. Going to be using, of course, Dollar Shave Club razors, and then I start once again at the chest. Now, the first time you manscape, it takes a while, right? You're being really careful, you're not sure, but after you sort of get into your sweet spot and develop your routine, it doesn't take much time. Bang, chest, done. Moving arm, Freudian slip, to the arm. And then I rinse the razor a little bit, and then boom, I shave my arm. Same sort of reason I do with my legs. I like the definition. It makes me look a little bit more vascular and leaner, and I just like it better. So the chest, the arms are finished. Now moving downtown. One thing I would recommend, and a manscaping pro tip, is invest in a loofah. They're not that much money. Usually they come in 3 packs. And then every time you get in the shower, make sure you're exfoliating the areas that you've manscaped so that you don't get ingrown hairs and bumps. That's one of the reasons why a lot of guys do get red ingrown hairs, is because they're not helping the hairs pop through the surface. Alright, so without going into gory detail, I shave the base of my penis and my testicles with a razor. I do not shave my pubic area because I get crazy ingrown hairs and it gets irritated from where the underwear and the pants sort of rub. I then shave my thighs. I shave the lower part of my legs. I do not shave, like we said, my hamstring, but pretty much that's it. Did I actually say that's it? Because the funniest thing is that most people are watching this like, holy mother of God, you spend a lot of time managing the hair. And I do. It's my routine, it's what I enjoy doing, and what makes me feel good. It's not right for everybody, it's not right for most people. You've got to find the routine that works for you and then execute it consistently every single week.